A moral test for America, a test that right now the U.S. Surgeon General fears we are failing.
Late today, the country's top doctor called the nation out, demanding a cultural shift in how all of us think about addiction. He said addiction is a neurological disorder of the brain, not a disease of choice. The heroin epidemic, ripping apart families and crippling first responders.
News Channel 5's Michelle Casada spent 2 days with Delray Beach Fire Rescue to show us the pain and suffering they see every day because of addiction.
We can have on a busy day upwards of 12, 15 heroin overdoses.
911, hang on. What you see here is what Delray Beach firefighters deal with every day and night, a heroin overdose.
He's got 4 in the nose already, Chris.
Narcan is an opiate antidote, but the nasal spray is not working like it used to.
So what we used to administer at 0.4 milligrams of Narcan, now we're administering up to 8 and sometimes even more.
He's blinking. He's starting to wake up now. What'd you use?
Heroin.
Okay.
That's what I believed it was.
Okay, I understand.
Today's heroin is laced with fentanyl, a synthetic opioid 50 times stronger than morphine. That's the killer. Even with Narcan, Fire Chief Neil DeJesus told me his first responders can't save them all.
They're seeing an amount of deaths equal to that we used to see in a career. They are now seeing over a several-month span.
And while first responders helped this patient,
overdose, intoxication.
It's another one down the street.
Delray Beach firefighters believe what they're dealing with is not a problem. It's a crisis. Already this year, they've responded to more than 1,500 overdoses. During my 2-day ride-along, I saw first responders help a user who dropped his heroin on the ground of a public parking lot. Another time, they discovered needles and a spoon on top of a restaurant bathroom sink. And what hit me the hardest, a 3-year-old boy who found his father unconscious inside a business's bathroom. He told the owner his daddy was sleeping.
There's been occasions where they've responded back to that same patient for another overdose twice, and in one case 3 times in the same day. And that's incredibly frustrating.
You're in the back of the ambulance now. Okay, you overdosed, okay?
Is this the worst you've ever seen drug use in your career?
By far. By far.
Going to a 31-year-old male not responding.
Firefighters in Delray Beach are now going through mandatory counseling.
Signs and symptoms that I've seen in firefighters and just becoming calloused and hardened to here's another overdose and here's another person who's willingly and voluntarily trying to take their life for a high.
Drunk or high? What's up?
Hi.
Heroin or heroin?
Since the start of this year, 47 people have died of heroin overdoses, and that's just in Delray Beach. Delray Beach Fire Rescue can respond to as many as 12 to 15 overdose calls a day. At one point during my ride-along, every available fire truck at every downtown fire station was out responding to emergencies, most of them overdoses.
It is just amazing to see the human toll when you're so used to seeing all the statistics. Just incredible what you've been able to show us. And over those 2 days, Michelle, what do the first responders say that they need?
Well, first, the chief says that they need more manpower. He's asked the city to hire 24 firefighters for the next 3 years, over the next 3 years. And second, he says they need tougher regulation for the sober homes. While we were on these calls, many of these calls were out to actual sober homes, and many of the patients that they treated said they were in recovery.
Wow.
It's beyond words, and straining the capacity of cities across this country, social resources, medical resources, and everything else. And we know you're continuing to follow this for us, and we appreciate it, Michelle.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michelle.